Welcome back to the channel. Cue no intro. Welcome back to the channel. It is Opex. You are now tuned in to the mind of Opex. No excuses now. Same thing like in Christian church. Like, if you never heard about Jesus at all in your entire life, would you go to hell? Well, I never heard about Jesus or God or anything. Well, just like you don't have, or they don't have an excuse, you have no excuse now. Those people that did hear about God, right? Now you have the information, and it's up to you to use this information to help you and others. Let's dive into it. I've talked about money in the past. I've talked about how numbers are the building blocks of the matrix. I've talked about how food is more important to strive for than money. Live for food, not money. Time for the upheaval, like in my little rap there. I want to talk about money and how it controls us, because it's more than just if you don't make money, you can't eat. If you don't make money, you can't do this or that or the third, or you can't have a house. And if you can't pay your property taxes, they take your house from you and throw you in a cage. It's more than that. Let's dive into rules, laws, rules. We'll just go with rules. In rules, the rules are, if you do something wrong, you get penalized. And when you get penalized, what do they really want? They want your money. There's a different set of laws for you than the elite. All right, so just essentially, if you are a millionaire, there's a different set of rules for you just by having money than to not have money. Let's put this in perspective, shall we?
Alert.
I had 2 DWIs in the past. Again, laws, or you can call this whatever you want. DWIs in the past. I had to pay money. And because I couldn't pay what they want, which is millions of dollars, because I don't have $1 million to give them, they still made me pay all the court costs. They made me pay restitution. They made me pay for a lot of shit, right? They made me pay for different things like, not parole, what's the other one? Probation. They made me go to jail because I couldn't afford it. Now, you know millionaires. If a millionaire gets a DWI, they pay money. They don't go to jail. They're not even on probation. There's no rules for them. If you have money, money pays for everything. The poor people go on in residential flying class, right? Like just with everyone else. They board with everyone else. And they pay a little bit amount of money, but you go through all the hoops, right? But if you were a millionaire and you had your own private jet or access to one or the ability to pay for a private jet, you 10 people, let's say it costs you $1,000 each. So let's say 10 people, that's $10,000 to rent your private jet for however many hours, right? $10,000. You don't need to wear a mask. Sorry, I shouldn't go that far. There's different set of rules for people with money than people without. Because without money, you need to go through the metal detector. You need to be patted down. You need your bags checked. If you're a regular person. But if you're a millionaire and you're driving, or you have the ability to fly private, they don't check your bag. You can have so much cocaine, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's only slightly funny. Anyways, do you understand how money works? If you have money, you get out of any problem. If you don't have money, you are subject to probation or to those criminal activities being on your record and etc., right? Like going to jail. How many millionaires you know? Hillary for prison 2016. That huge campaign. Why isn't she in prison? Let's just go with George Soros. Clearly being a domestic terrorist, trying to destroy this country from the inside. These people aren't going to jail. With all the evidence clearly obvious why they should be in jail or prison, whether they're a warmonger, they killed people, whatever, they bathe in, virgin blood or whatever the fuck they're doing, right? But the evidence, the proof of what they're doing is there. So it's not like they can just say, make a phone call, get a specific judge to cover their case. Money changes everything. If I killed somebody, it wouldn't take 2 seconds. I'd be in jail, in cuffs, in prison. They kill people, it's a minor inconvenience. You guys understand this? Do you understand why they had to kill Jeffrey Epstein? They had to kill him. There's way too much information, and you are either playing ball or you're not. Like George Carlin once said, there's one big club and you're not in it. Now, if you had millions of dollars, sure. Taxes aren't for the rich. Taxes are for the poor. The rich can afford to pay taxes. The poor cannot. It affects the poor. So let's get that out of the way. If you got $10 million in your account and you don't have a foundation, you're getting screwed over by taxes and everyone thinks you're a retard. If you have $10 million in the bank and you don't have a foundation or a GoFundMe thing, if you don't have that, you're being stolen from by a lot. See, the reason why Kill and Belinda Gates Foundation, you know why that's tax-free? It's because it's a foundation. It's geared to, it's like a church almost. It's like you're trying to do better for others, and your beliefs is strong enough where you can be tax-free or some shit, right? It's a loophole is what it really is. It doesn't mean anything. If you start an LLC, you got to pay taxes on every dollar that comes in your account. Income on a foundation or GoFundMe, there's no taxes. So what the hell's going on here? Rules for one, no rules for another. Money. Now, we all know the slave system. We all know that we all have to work for money, right? There's a very few people that just get it automatically or have a very, very easy time with it because things were falling into their lap. But the other 99.5% of people need to work for money. That means the most valuable resource you have, time, you need to exchange that, your most valuable resource, for something that's fictionary. Whoa, Opex, fictionary. Your most important resource you're trading for something that's fiction. Well, if you're looking at a dollar amount, does that dollar amount mean anything? Yes, as long as you are brainwashed to believe it holds value. If you do not believe it holds value, it does not. It's a belief structure. So how are you going to exchange IOUs or notes, whatever you want to call them, which aren't real money? Notes aren't money. Those are IOUs for debt that you did owe money to. So once you wake up to that logic of we are exchanging and working for something that doesn't exist, and we have to be brainwashed to believe it does exist in order to get the things we need. If I gave somebody $5 and said, I want 5 apples from you for this $5, and you accept that, that's on you, giving up your time and effort to make those apples and produce those apples for you, your family, or whatever. Now you are accepting a note, an IOU. Now, let me ask you guys something. If I came up to you, let's say you worked at let's say you owned your own business, and you sell apples. And I said to you, hey, I know this isn't real money. You know this isn't real money. But I'm going to write on this piece of paper $5. It's not by the Federal Reserve. It's not backed by gold. It's literally just me writing on a piece of paper, I owe you $5. You don't know me very well. You just know that I'm a customer and I wanted food, and you're like, what are you thinking? You thinking you're going to accept literally words written on a piece of paper? Or do you think your apples provide enough value where those words on the piece of paper didn't mean nothing? But the apples did, because you can eat that apple, you can give that apple to your chickens, you can grow more apples using the seeds and be an entrepreneur slash a go-getter, a real success story. Or do you accept that $5 IOU? See, our priorities are in the wrong locations. Our priorities should be based on abundance, value, things we need rather than greed. So what does money give us? Money doesn't give us anything unless the other person agrees to it. And if the other person agrees to it, let's say you're at insert supermarket here, those same apples for $5, well, what's going to happen? People are going to accept it because this is the world we live under. We all want money. But why do we want money? To go and get things that we would have in real life. But you wouldn't get those things in real life without money, most likely. So you work, you give up all your time, and do I have to really stress the importance of time? I mean, it's your most valuable resource. Do I need to stress that? Time. You know, once you're out of that, you're out of that. That's it. Period. There's only so much time in a day. This is a very valuable resource because time can give you all those things you need. What's more important, time or money? Time gives you all the things you need. Time can give you money. Time can give you food. Time can give you everything you need. Your happiness, your joy, your sadness, whatever. Time is where all instruments are held. But Opex, didn't you say there's no such thing as time? Time is imaginary. Times don't exist, but clocks exist? Yes. Time exists. But it's not, what's the word? It's not tangible. It's not something that I can give and take. It's not like that. But you can forfeit your time. And you would forfeit your time for $20 an hour or whatever it may be. Your time. Now, let's just get this straight. If the cost of something costs more than the cost of something, meaning somebody had to get those apples. You have a farm. You have apples on the farm. You harvest the apples. You pay for employees to harvest apples and to maintain, maybe create a good NPK ratio during the different stages of bloom and veg cycles. And you have a whole thing going on where you pay for this. You pay for your RG&E at your location. You pay for all the things you need in your apple orchard. You need irrigation. You need tons of things, right? Maybe you have tons of resources that you're putting into it other than just time. Let's say money. So you're putting money into it, you're putting time into it, and then on top of that, now there's somebody that needs to transport all these apples to the store or to the warehouse. So the truck driver needs to be paid now. They get paid by the mile. Plus diesel. Diesel fuel's on the rise. It's expensive. Things you wouldn't even think about. Apple is an apple. It's very easy to grow. And it's very simple, and it should be really fucking cheap. See, you got to pay for the land. You got to pay property taxes on that land every year. It's never ending. You got to pay your school taxes most likely. You got to pay all these things. Now, your gas and electric costs money. Your everything costs money, right? The water, the labor, which is time, essentially, time and effort. So a lot of things go into the price of an apple when you buy it at a supermarket. The truck driver needs to be paid. The guy who sold you fuel had to be paid. A million people down the line have to be paid. And the government, every step of the way, watch my video, Taxation is Theft, every step of the way is taxed. Well, you can't tax apples. You can tax transportation, can't you? You can tax a million other things, can't you? Property tax. Obviously, if you haven't noticed yet, fuel tax is a thing. The reason I'm bringing this up, if it was just me and you here, without this huge matrix of bullshit, I can just walk to your place, say, hey, let me get some apples. You think those apples are going to be $5 for $5, aka $1 an apple? No. I can get 5 for $1 now. Because I'm going directly to the person who's growing it. I can see what they're doing. But no, you'd rather get the waxy fucking apple, which, yeah, they had to put wax on there to preserve it for long periods of time. You have the opportunity to just go to somebody at an apple orchard and buy their product right from them. But you are choosing, through this brainwashing technique, through money and extortion, through control, they are making sure you pay more money for these objects. It's an apple. But to move it from there to there, and with all the taxes, all the liabilities, all the insurance, now you're paying $1 an apple. Why? Is it more important to keep buying those apples that you love so much? Or you have two good options. Buy directly from the person producing the apple so you know exactly what you're getting, exactly what's going on, as fresh as it can be. Instead of going through all the hurdles of bullshit, genetically modified apples, and they got to do all these things to it and poison it, put wax coatings on it, which is almost impossible to take off. I mean, you need white vinegar or apple cider vinegar and baking soda, and you got to go ham, right? Just to get the layer off, let alone it's still stuck in the apple. If we didn't live for money, you can just go and get an apple, and it would be extremely healthy. But the problem is, that's not how it works, is it? Everyone's got to get paid. Everyone's got to get a little piece of something off of that. So the price of everything goes up. It's an artificial price because the real price was you going directly to the person who grew the apple. So you had that choice of going to the guy who grows the apple, or you buy that apple or seeds for that apple, and you grow your own. Now, what's more important to you? Growing your own apples to make sure you always have apples, or always spending too much money on poison? This is a direct result from money. This would not happen if we were choosing to barter with each other. Money's the reason why we have a lot of problems right now. Now, we're 20 minutes into it, but this could get out of hand because I didn't really talk about anything I really wanted to talk about. This is a huge topic. So the truth is here, money has logically interrupted our natural brain processing program, which is, I need food. Your dog doesn't think, I need money for food. Only you do. Humans. And it's not supposed to be that way, but a rat born in a cage only knows its cage. And I can make this video go on forever and ever, but I got someone that's coming out to talk to me, so stay tuned for plenty more content. Stop living for money. Start living for food. Start seeing the difference between all the problems that are coming from money and all the fixes that you can have from time. Thanks for watching this video. Plenty more content coming. It's Opex. I got it under 20 minutes, guys. See ya.